They are just taking a massive workload off the table for me. All I have to do is just spend maybe 2 hours just listing my site. After that, they just take control. I can just sit back and relax whilst they do everything. I had a dream where I traveled a lot for a couple of years, and I realized that I wanted to kind of continue that lifestyle. I didn't want to just be stuck in, because I just finished university, and I didn't want to just be stuck in some office for the rest of my life. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people love their jobs, but I wanted something different. So yeah, that was my whole motivation for building an online business, and yeah, it really drove me to get it done. And then yeah, I've been living in Asia for the last 5 years, traveling around a lot, and working from my laptop. Before I started building my online business whilst I was at university, my last year, and then I had a few months off like in the summer, and I just really put lots of effort into it, and things basically worked out. I flew out to Asia a few months later, and just kept working on it from there and just building it up. It's all about the freedom. I was happy. I would have been happy just making a small amount of money as long as I had the freedom. But then I realized I could kind of grow this a bit more. I could, build more websites, develop them more. I still travel a lot. I still have a lot of fun and get to enjoy the freedom of being able to do what I want when I want, basically. Probably the hardest part is to keep yourself motivated and focused and disciplined as well. When you're working that 9 to 5, you've always got somebody over your shoulder, always making sure you're doing your work right. But if you're an entrepreneur, it's all on you. And even if you don't really, if one day you don't really feel like working, you've got to do it still. Otherwise, you're not going to make any money, right? So that's probably the hardest thing for me. Definitely the freedom. I can, although I want to work hard. I can choose just next week if I want to just fly to Bali. I can go do that if I really want to, right? I don't have to ask anyone's permission, and I can still do some work whilst I'm there. I can still keep things going, right? So that's the dream for me, and the ultimate. My favorite thing, yeah. Yeah, when I was getting started, actually, I was reading their blog, so they were kind of partly responsible for me learning some of this online business stuff. So I have them to thank for that in part. So yeah, I'd always knew about them, and then when they launched their marketplace, I'd already had some successful websites by then, and I was just ready to use it, basically. Yeah. So for me, it became a part of my business model, really. The fact that I can build these online businesses and then actually take some risk off of the table, because I do SEO, and you never know what's going to happen, right? You can have Google penalties, traffic can just drift off. But if I sell some of them, then I'm just converting it to cash, and cash is just there's no risk. I can invest that in other stuff. So I mean, that's the main reason for selling. It's always a great feeling, because to build a website and get it earning money is a time-consuming process. It could take 1 or 2 years maybe to get decent traffic and decent earnings. So to go through that whole process where you don't even know if it's going to be a success or not, and then all of a sudden it's making money, and you can actually sell it and then get that big payday. I mean, the payday is probably the most exciting thing, but then also, being able to actually enjoy it. I try, and every time I sell a site, I try and take a bit of that to enjoy myself. Yeah, last time I was with my parents, so my family in Bali, so I decided to take them to a very nice dinner on the beach. So yeah, it's a good feeling to do that. The hardest thing would be thinking whether you've taken it as far as it can go. Maybe it has more potential, right? There's always this one feeling where you may be missing something, right? Maybe this buyer knows something you don't. They're going to buy this site and they're just going to take it to a whole new level, right? So that would be the scariest thing about selling a site, for sure. Maybe I would just say to anybody else that was thinking about starting their own online business, to not be scared about it, not to be scared about thinking it's going to be a big risk or anything like that. You can actually start with very little capital, which is something I did myself. I was mostly just putting my time in at the start. So the risk is as high as you want it to be. If you're just putting your time in, then my advice is always to just go for it, and you never know, it might just work out for you. Okay, that would have to be 5 out of 5, definitely, because they are just taking a massive workload off the table for me. If I was to try and sell my websites myself, number one, I probably wouldn't get the price that I would, and I would have no clue where to start anyway. I probably wouldn't be very good at it either. So yeah, and the fact that all I have to do is just spend maybe 2 hours just listing my site, taking all the screenshots, putting the data in at the beginning. That's pretty much the time-consuming part, and it's not time-consuming. It's only 2 hours. After that, they just take control, and it's just a really hands-off process, very smooth, and I can just sit back and relax whilst they do everything. So yeah, definitely 5 stars.